Welcome to the Health Buzz podcast with Dr. Cindy Ross. Here we explore practical, integrative wellness solutions for the mind, body, and soul, drawing from natural medicine to inspire vibrant health. For more insights, visit lifewellnessforever.com. Please note, this discussion is for educational purposes only, is not intended to diagnose or treat any condition, and should not replace consultation with your physician.
Hi, guys. This is Cindy Ross with the Health Buzz podcast, and I have with me again this week Miss Amanda Sellers as my guest co-host. Hi, Amanda.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on again. I told her, I said, we're going to do this guest co-host through the end of the year and make sure that she wants to be with me on this podcast. And hopefully for 2025, you will see both of our faces going into the new year. And we plan to have a weekly podcast, and it's going to be topics about anything and everything, and especially revolved around health and wellness. So it'll be fun. Yeah, it'll be fun. And we have a lot of guest speakers that we are talking about bringing on the show. So you definitely want to stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to us. So today we are talking about, it actually kind of came about because Amanda and I were chatting last week. I guess it's been last week, 2 weeks ago, maybe. We were chatting about
2 weeks.
Yeah, we were chatting about the store-bought milks that you get, the nut milks, and Amanda and her family, they've been drinking milk, and I have a lot of patients that come to me that are drinking milk, and what we're finding out is it's actually altering hormone and just really early growth in adolescent children. And so that's how this topic came about, and I thought it would be a great podcast topic because I started making my own coconut milk about 2 months ago, and I love it. And I really wasn't ever a fan of coconut milk at the store because I thought it tasted too coconutty. Is that a word? Coconutty? Like it just tastes.
It's a word.
Yeah, it's a word. I'm making it a word. And I didn't really like it. And I never really drank almond milk, and almond milk's high in oxalates. And so I try to stay away from that. But we started making our own. And what do you think, Amanda? 2 weeks in.
So I'm drinking it plain, which is big for me. I'll just pour it in a glass and drink it. It's more like a skim or low fat, non-fat. It's more watery, but you still get the milk taste and not too much coconut. I'm a huge fan, and I'm mixing it in smoothies for Kennedy, and she's drinking it.
I love it. So for me, I want to make sure that I'm getting the nutrients in, right? Especially being vegan. And I like it because it doesn't have a strong pronounced taste to me, and it doesn't overpower what I'm putting it in, or if I'm drinking it plain, it doesn't overpower. And I like it. And I mean, this is the great thing about it is if you're making it on your own, you can change the consistency, right? So we're doing one right now. Have you found the carton ones yet? The ones that that same brand, show the brand that you have because you brought it out today. So yeah, so it's great. You can get it on the Asian food aisle, or you can find it. I found it in the oil section at in our grocery store. But what you do is we open the can, and for a fourth of the can, or a fourth of the cup, fourth cup of coconut milk, you do a cup of filtered water, and you can change that consistency. Like if you like it thicker, but the one, and I don't have it with me, but I'll put it in the show notes. We found a carton, and it's just coconut milk and water. So that's what you got to really make sure that you're finding, because this is the whole benefit of making your own is you're not having all the preservatives and the potentially harmful chemicals in the store-bought ones, right, that we're trying to get away from. You want to make sure that it has pretty much as close as you can just to coconut milk and water. And then, thin it out. If you want to thin it out, make it as thick as you want to. And the cool thing is, you can shake it and make sure that it doesn't clump or gunk together. And I found we do 1/2-gallon mason jars. And at first, when we found them, I was like, oh, we did the little, pint size ones at first.
Mm-hmm.
A pint size. We were doing that one, and we were going through it like crazy. So I found the 1/2-gallon ones, and they're kind of heavy, and we were trying to pour it, and it was so messy. And my husband's like, this is not working. And I found the little plastic spouts, which Amanda is bringing on the show today. She's so prepared. Yeah. And they're awesome. And I'll put the links to all this in the show notes for you guys. but it's super easy and you feel like you're doing something really great for your body making it. And I think it takes all of like 2 minutes for me to make a half gallon, right?
Yes, yes. And question while I'm thinking about it, what I've been doing is tearing off a piece of painter's tape and then writing just 11/7 or whenever I make it. How long is it good once you've made it and put it in your fridge?
That's a good question. I'm not sure because we go through it so fast. I would say,
So,
definitely, probably at least like 3 weeks probably is good. Yeah.
okay, better than regular milk.
Yeah, it's definitely better than regular milk. And I mean, when we were buying coconut milk and almond milk, it would stay 3 or 4 weeks, the expiration date. But
Mhm.
I mean, the cans pretty much last. I know that I just bought some of the cans and it says best before use October of 2025. So, I mean, I think once you open it, that's definitely going to shorten the length of the healthy span of it. But I would say 3 to 4 weeks, you're fine. Yeah,
And then
definitely.
what I do when I had, so the first batch that I made, and I probably overdid it with the water. I think I put too much water in it, but I still liked it. Um, I put the remainder, I just stored it in a little milk glass,
Yep.
put a top on it and put it in the fridge.
Yeah, that's it. I really love these mason jars. It was a patient of mine that turned me on. I'm going to get off of coconut milk for a second, but a patient of mine turned me onto the mason jars. Like I was buying all the organics and everything was going bad so fast, fruits, vegetables. And so now, as soon as I get home from the store, I wash everything, chop everything up, and it all goes in a mason jar. So my whole refrigerator is full of mason jars because once it's sealed in there, it literally will taste fresher and it lasts much longer. So anything that you put in those mason jars is going to it'll last for a while and it'll keep in the refrigerator. I don't know. Nothing's, I make a half gallon and it seems like it's gone in like a day. So you're getting less chemicals. It's cheaper. It tastes better. You're feeding your body something so pure. It's a win, and there's so many benefits with coconut milk. I mean, it's for one, it's oxidative. So you got all the antioxidants, you're getting brain health from the fats, you're getting joint health with the oils. It's so good for you. So good for you. It's definitely one of my favorite nut milks.
It's also kind of a kickstart for moving into other areas and ways to make your kitchen more healthy. For me, it's motivated me to start looking into other things.
That's exactly like when I started chopping my vegetables and fruits and putting them in the mason jars. I was like, okay, what else can I do to be and since then we have literally started eliminating household chemicals and just different things. And it's a slow process, and I mean, even this morning, and I'll be super transparent. I'm all about anti-cancer, anti everything to prevent it, right? And one of the things in our kitchen is a microwave. And it's terrible for us, like it's so harmful. And one of the things that I would do from time to time if I was eating oatmeal, I would heat it up in the microwave. And so this morning I was so proud. And this is the reason why I asked you if we could postpone our podcast a little bit this morning, because I made stovetop oatmeal. And I'm not sure that if I've ever done that before, because I've always just nuked it in the microwave or put hot water from my tea kettle, but I actually cooked it on the stove this morning. So it's just little things like that. You're right. It's like kind of a trickling effect to where you do one thing like that and you know that you're doing so good for you and your family, it's a ripple effect for other areas of your life.
Right. It's
How's your
also,
family adjusting to it, Amanda?
they're fine. Greg still bought the regular milk.
Greg.
Um, I know for him. And what I told him is, just try it. He hasn't even tried it, but he is going to be a slow roll into all of this. His motivation is keeping Kennedy healthy, right?
Yeah,
So she's our only child. She's 8. That's his motivation. So he's all about me making the milk for her and pushing it on her. But he'll be a slow roll behind us, I'm sure.
I love it. Like one of the things I do with the coconut milk too, and I did it last night. Like, if I want something sweet, I'll do cacao powder. like maybe a teaspoon of cacao powder and 8 ounces of the coconut milk, and I'll add a little bit of liquid stevia. And I get my stevia. It's better. I think it's called Better Stevia. It's from the brand Now, and I love it. I have to order it, but it's the purest form of stevia I've ever found. It doesn't have any additives that makes my stomach feel weird, and I absolutely love it. And it's like a little sweet treat, and you're not getting any calories, and it settles well, and you can sleep well with it. So it's a nice treat. So that's always, you can always add things like, a lot of people get almond milk and it might be like vanilla, or it might have like accents. You could always add in vanilla extract. You could do the cacao powder. There's so many things that you can make it however you want. And not only that, but you can cook with it too.
Right. Well, the coconut milk has definitely, I say it's a jumpstart for other things. The last 2 days, I've made smoothies in the mornings for Kennedy. So I'll do a banana, and then maybe I have a little agave syrup, and that's one thing I need to ask you about as a sweetener. And then some frozen fruits that I purchase. And I blend all that together. That's a breakfast. I put a little bit of protein powder in there for her. But yeah, she's not a huge milk drinker, but if I mix it with something, she's more likely to drink
She'll
it.
drink it. And Amanda, one of the reasons I like having you on the podcast is because you're a lawyer and you ask so many questions. I was telling my husband, I was like, she found the perfect career for her because she asked so many questions. I love it.
Yeah, my husband would not agree. I always get that, don't lawyer me right now. Don't lawyer me.
Don't
Just
lawyer
talk to me.
me. Oh, I like that. I like that. So agave. Agave is great. Much like honey, again, it is sweet, right? And it will minimally spike your insulin levels, but nothing like sugar or anything like that. So it definitely is a better alternative. I don't personally use it. I like the stevia or honey. If we're traveling, I will do honey. But agave is super sweet. So if you're going to do it, I would not, just moderate your serving size.
Well, I will check the link in the show notes and probably try the stevia next.
Yeah, I will put the link in. I love it. When I was competing back in 2018, I used to do just like the stevia and the raw, and then I just ran into somebody and they were like, "Oh no, the purest form of stevia we've ever had," and it was by the now. And so it actually is on Fullscript too, which is my dispensary for my website. And so I get it on there, and it's actually cheaper. So if you're a patient of mine, you can actually get a discount on it, which is great. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, which is great. So yeah, so just be careful. Make sure that you're reading the labels on the coconut milk, because there are there's like 4 different brands at my store, and I would say 3 of them that Thai, what's it called? What's it called, Amanda?
Thai Kitchen.
Yeah, Thai Kitchen. So that one has guar gum in it, which again, I would prefer it not to have it. And then you can notice when you
What is that?
it's just a binder, right?
Okay.
And again, it's a chemical, which we don't want it in there, but it's the lesser of the evils, and you got to kind of pick your battles, right? Not everything's perfect, and sometimes that's all you can find. But if you can find that one and nothing else, that's perfect. But if you can find one that's just coconut milk and water, that's the one that I would choose. That one has a little bit thickness, but I have that one up in my kitchen right now. Jason likes the taste of that one better. He said the one that we have now, it is by Thai Kitchen, but again, it's in a carton, and I think it's like pretty much one of those ready to drink that's already diluted, but it only has coconut milk and water. So there is none of that. When you open it, it doesn't gunk up at the top. So that gunking up at the top is just it's a preservative. It's just to stay in the can, So yeah. But just make sure that you read the labels, because I ran across a brand that I didn't recognize last week. I went to a different store and it had like 4 or 5 different ingredients in it. And if you cannot pronounce it, it does not need to go in the body.
Well, which is pretty much every label that I have looked at since I've been doing this.
That's right.
I don't, it's so overwhelming. I don't want to Google every single thing, but that's what I assumed. If I can't read it, it probably shouldn't be.
That's it. Someone called me last week, a friend of mine, and she's been having some what she thought was like insulin spikes. So we were kind of just working through and talking through what she had going on. And she goes, the only thing that I've really changed over the past few months is I've been doing this energy drink. And she's like, Cindy, I don't think anything's in it. Like it's not. And so I'm like, tell me the energy drink. And so I'm over here and I'm Googling everything and she's telling me like her eyesight was being affected. I'm like, this definitely sounds like insulin spikes. Like your body is definitely not as sensitive to insulin as what it needs to be. And that's what it sounds like. And so I'm looking and I still don't even know how to pronounce it, but it started out with gluca. So I knew it was something related to glucose.
Hmm.
And when I researched it and I went in and I was like, here's your culprit right here because it causes a 26% increase in insulin. So she's drinking 2 to 3 of these a day and she's getting the caffeine, but she's also getting these huge, and she's doing it on an empty stomach. So there's nothing to absorb it. And she's getting these huge insulin
Yeah.
spikes, and she's pretty much tanked for the rest of the day. She said she just feels awful. So I'm curious because I haven't talked to her since we chatted and I told her she needed to cut those out. So I'm hoping that she feels 100% better this week. So yeah,
Yeah, I'd
just
be curious to
food
know.
labels. Read your food labels, read everything because there's so many hidden ingredients that we don't even realize. I mean, I'm in it and this is my world every single day. And there's still something that I learn every single day. And I don't know it all by no means even like, doing grocery store tours for the past 15 years, being in the health and fitness business, there's still things that I will be shocked. And I'm like, I heard someone talking about, and I forget the name of it, but it was one of the yellow food colorings and it was in pickles. They put it in pickles. And I'm like, I had no idea that it was in pickles. So I've been checking all my pickle jars because I eat pickles from time to time and I'm like checking it to make sure that it wasn't in there. Thankfully it wasn't. But yeah, I mean, you literally have to read everything and research and you have to be your own best advocate.
Why are we putting food coloring and dyes in food? Is it to make the food pretty
It's to
and
make
to
it
sell
pretty.
it?
Yeah, it's to make it pretty.
Okay.
I was listening to someone had sent me the White House roundtable, and I'm not political and I won't even get into that war, but I did listen to it and it was like 3.5 hours long, and there were some amazing speakers on there. Jillian Michaels, which I've been a fan of since Biggest Loser
Hmm.
forever, she was one of the speakers. But the one of the hottest topics was the food coloring, and they had a box of uh, what is it? Lucky Charms, maybe. I think Lucky Charms with all the
Fruit Loops is one.
Fruit Loops, Lucky Charms, and they had a box in the US and then they had a box, I think it was in Germany. And the German box didn't look as pretty and it didn't have any of the food colorings. And they're healthy over there. And ours was loaded with food colorings. And we got so many kids with autism and that are on the spectrum and ADD and ADHD. And it's from what they're putting in their bodies and the food coloring. And unfortunately, it's to make it look prettier and it's to make it last longer. And people buy it because it looks pretty. Yeah, it's
That's sad.
appealing to the eye. It really is sad. Yeah, it really is sad. My food is very boring. I don't have any color.
Well, I hope that um, the shift keeps moving in that direction to where they start making it easier for us. We shouldn't have to worry about purchasing something that is banned in another country. I shouldn't have to Google, well, is our Fruit Loops banned in any other country? But you do, and they are.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and I mean, just if your children don't use coconut milk in cereal, okay? Like this, like that is just, it's asinine because you're trying to do one thing healthy and then you're feeding your kids all this sugar.
Right.
So if you're doing that, there are so many different alternatives. One of the things, like if cereal is a breakfast staple in your family, one of the things, and I love getting these little nuggets along the way through the years. One of our patients turned us on to getting the old fashioned oats. So I do gluten free no GMOs or whatever, oatmeal, which probably still isn't that great. I'm sure that there's glyphosate in there somewhere along the line, but you could do the old fashioned oats and you put cold milk. Jason does this every single morning. So he does a scoop of Greek yogurt and he does old fashioned oats and he puts coconut milk and then he might put like some blueberries or whatever, but he eats it like cereal. And it does, it has the same effect. And he puts a little stevia in there, so it's nice and sweet. But it has the same effect as cereal, but you're not getting all that added sugar. I think it was like, I don't know, like a half a cup is like a half a cup of like, let's just say Honey Nut Cheerios. I want to say it was like 4 to 5 teaspoons of sugar was in it. Like it was something crazy because my brother and I were going round and round, and he was like, "Oh, every now and then I eat Honey Nut Cheerios." Sorry, Chance, I got to call you out on this one. But I was like, "Why are you eating this? It is loaded with sugar," and people just don't realize how much sugar until you break it down.
Mhm.
So, if you are trying to maybe find something else besides cereal, the old fashioned oats, and I would definitely get the gluten-free old fashioned oat. I use Bob's Mill. You know Bob's Mill? You seen it before?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
So Bob's Milk's gluten free, and I've always liked the product. But it gives you the same effect as cereal without all the added sugar. But it is
Well,
not
I
nice and pretty for
see.
your kids. But you know what? If it's not nice and pretty, add in some raspberries and blueberries and whatever.
Right.
Add in some fruits.
Well, I feel like it's all kind of a mind game, right? So we we we're not cereal eaters. We don't have cereal in our house. Not, I mean, it's just not something that we really picked up. But now there are ads for alternative cereal. So you can buy the same kind and look of cereal for twice the price, and it's supposed to be healthier. I haven't looked at what's in these healthier boxes, but I imagine that there's still probably some consequences in those boxes that we don't want,
Absolutely.
right? So why are we giving up one bad thing, paying twice the amount for something that's probably just as bad? I don't know. Um, just give it up. We got to find healthier alternatives.
I
And
agree.
that's my next question for you. After you do the milk, and that was like a great starting point for me. What's the next household item?
In your kitchen,
Kitchen, laundry, wherever.
one of the things that we just started doing, we switched out our laundry detergent, which this is the way that you got to think about it. When you start changing little things in the house, where are you most at, right? Like in your kitchen, laundry, like you're sleeping on these sheets, you're wearing the clothes. So to me, okay, well, I did switch my toilet paper because I mean, we do go to the bathroom. So we switched our toilet paper, and I'm happy to put the show notes what we switched to, but we switched to bamboo. It's very nice toilet paper. But that was one because you use the bathroom all day long, right? And so that was one. And then we switched to our laundry detergent, and we went to an all natural. And you can go to we were at this farmer's market in Texas in October, and I came across this girl, and she'd been making these natural laundry detergents. And one of the things when you go natural is you lose the smell, and we all like something nice smelling, but she uses essential oils, which I thought was a nice touch to it. And so it's
Hmm.
lavender, smells great. We're using it right now and I love it. So I would say definitely probably look at your toilet paper because there's a lot of chemicals there, and then switch out your laundry detergent. That would be the next thing.
What I love about the coconut milk is that it is a great alternative. It tastes good, but it's also a money saver
Huge
because
money.
what you're paying, yeah, what you're paying for a carton of milk or a gallon of milk in the grocery store, it doesn't even compare to what you're paying for a can.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So let me go back to the can for a second. And I'm seeing, because I'm specializing in oncology now. So everybody asks me, and again, everything that we're doing, even this switch right here for coconut milk, you're preventing, you're preventing the onset of cancer growth, right? But if you do have cancer currently, I would recommend that you really watch your BPAs, which BPAs can be found in cans. Again, you gotta pick your battles. And so if it's a big thing, but and I'll make sure that I put the carton one in there as well in the show notes that you can get. You can order it online as well, but you just got to watch your BPAs because they can be found in cartons as well. So you just got to be careful.
What are BPAs?
It's just chemicals, again, for substance, for things lasting longer that they put in. And, I mean, that's why cans can sit in your pantry for years. And, all of my doomsday seekers that are preparing for that day, they got cans and cans and cans and cans because they last forever. So it's just chemicals to sustain the longevity of foods. So you just be careful with it. And that's why, you'll see on your water bottles that you buy, it'll say BPA free and things like that. You just want to make sure it's on there. And it used to be crazy expensive. And I think things like that have come down as well. Yeah. So, I hope Kennedy likes it, and I hope she doesn't hate Dr. Cindy for having her mom switch her over to coconut milk. Kennedy calls me Dr. Cindy. So, I told you Amanda and I go way back. We go way back to 7th, 8th grade, but sweet Kennedy, she calls me Dr. Cindy.
Yep. Yeah. She was very, very excited when we were in the lab, and we just recently had some blood work done on Kennedy. Nothing's wrong with her. We just kind of wanted a baseline for her. And so Cindy ordered some labs, Dr. Cindy ordered some labs. And so we had a whole conversation. Then we had to show pictures in the doctor's office of Dr. Cindy because you all haven't actually met in person or over Zoom. We'll have to do that soon.
I love it. I love it. And so I don't know. I just think that moving forward with the one of the reasons the coconut milk thing came up between Amanda and I was because of early development, really. And we just want to make sure that Kennedy stays healthy and that she is not developing too early. And something I shared with Amanda, I ended up getting my first period when I was 8 years old, which was way too young. And I was having to shave at age 7 and wearing deodorant, and my body just, I developed way too early. But there wasn't functional medicine doctors back then. There wasn't. And if you went to the gynecologist or you went to your pediatrician, they would just say, it's fine. Some girls develop earlier than others, but it's not fine. I mean, we're just getting so many added hormones, whether it's milk or chicken or cows or beef, or it's coming in from everywhere. And all I can say is this: you don't want to become obsessed about it and worry about it, but what you can do in your house and what you can control, do it. What's out of your control when you're eating out, do the best you can. That's all I'm going to say. That's kind of my rule of thumb. And that's why I don't eat out too much, is because I know that I can control everything that comes in my house, what I put in my body. Food is medicine to me. And when I'm eating out, I try to, have fun and be social and know that it's not under my control, but to the best of my ability, I try to control it. So that's what I'll say is I'll leave you with that, is that whatever comes in your house, do the best that you can and control what's in your house for you and your family, and try to be as healthy as possible. And then when you're out and about, do the best you can. Simple, right?
Thank you. Yeah. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. I know. Amanda, I had a blast as always. Thanks for the chat, and thanks for bringing up this topic, because I switched over to coconut milk and I didn't really share a lot about it on social media. And I think it's something that I definitely will, because I see a lot of people wanting to make that switch and they just don't know. And it's super easy to make the switch. So I'll put it in the show notes and give it a try, at least, Greg, give it a try, Greg. But if anybody has any questions on it, feel free to reach out to me, or Amanda as well. And we're here, and we will definitely keep coming to you with some great health concerns and tips and all the things. So we appreciate you tuning in and hope you subscribe to us, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye, Amanda. Bye.